Hello, Tauruses, and welcome to your May 2025 reading. And of course, it is your birthday season, and so the solar return into your sign, time to make your wishes, to plant your seed, and to start receiving from all of your investments and all of the energy that you've poured into all sorts of things, and the occasion for people to tell you how much they appreciate you. So happy birthday, Taurus. On this, I meditated on your energy, and of course this month we're gonna have your new moon around the end of the month, 26th, 27th. And we're going to have the full moon in Scorpio, your front neighbor on the wheel. And so that full moon in Scorpio for you, of course, it's going to be very, what do I want to continue into my next cycle? You have a full year in front of you. Scorpio is the opportunity to Scorpio full moon especially, to shed the light on what was hidden, on what was mysterious, what was swallowed. Because we're going deep into the waters. So what was swallowed that cannot be swallowed anymore? What do I really want to go and see truly, where I cannot let it on surface anymore? I need to go dig deep in it. That's why intimacy and things like that. Really going into maybe a friendship you want to go deeper in, or that you see, no, maybe this won't work anymore. So this is really the spiritual waters that are being, like the full moon rises, the tides, that is being activated right now. And you in the Taurus, it's your, what do I want to ground next year? So it calls for that checkup kind of thing. So what do I want to manifest? What do I want to ground? And so on. So on this, you come in the month with the 10 of Wands. So maybe that, full moon and the new moon in Aries that was just before this month made you realize how much you put on your shoulders. Because you come in with a lot of pressure. 10 of Wands. That's a lot of pressure on our shoulders. Pressure we put ourselves, or pressure we accepted from, needs and wants of other people. Whatever it is, like maybe the last stretch, we are the end of the school year and all of that. So there's a lot of term that are finishing. The 10 of Wands, this is when, I don't even see where I'm going anymore. I'm just carrying this. So either it's because of a concrete end that is coming, or it is a pattern that you've picked up, carrying all of that weight on your shoulders. With it, of course, there's going to be this realization that this needs to stop. And that's why going to dig deep into the waters will help. Under it, I have the Ace of Cups. And the thing is that when we have so much on our shoulders, we can't really see, or even less grasp, the Ace of Cups. So those two together would be a call for release. And if you can't release, reassessing what is the emotional fulfillment of these 10 Wands. Because there's an opportunity here to maybe commune on a different level. Sometimes when it's responsibilities, do I still love it? How do I commune with what I have to do? If I do it out of love, even if it's, a big chore or a big responsibility, it will not take the same energy as when it's just by obligation. So maybe a vision of looking at How can I commune with this to bring emotional fulfillment? Or is it even possible? That might come up. Middle of the month here, we can see that there's a bit of juggling, because here we have the world in reverse, and that's when the cycle is over. You don't need to maybe carry this anymore, but we're not completely ready to let it go. We're still juggling between the two. The lesson is done, but we haven't gained the philosophy or the wisdom of it, Sophia. The wisdom of the last cycle. So we're still bringing it in. Magician in reverse, it's still happening to us instead of us doing it. So you're kind of in between. It's happening to me and I'm done. I understand it. I get into my power. At the end of the month, we have Justice, and we have the Page of Wands and the Six of Swords. And this, I think, it's going to depend on, all of you. We will have the new moon in Gemini, and the new moon in Gemini will ask to process, understand, look at the duality that we might have inside of us. Look at how we're managing our left brain and our right brain. We're all dualities within ourselves. It's just that Gemini is professional at it. So this is really a new moon that is coming to help us analyze, seize, maybe have different perspective, understand, communicate on a different level. Here we can see there's something that you need to really turn the page on, forgive, maybe something that wasn't balanced, but now you have the understanding of balance, but you really need to turn the page on it so that you can have this new energy. You cannot have new energy when we're in the 10 of Wands. So 6 of Swords is the capacity to move on, turn the page from the choppy waters that are in the back of that 2 of Pentacles. There they are, where it stirs up stuff emotionally. That's where our Scorpio would like to finish off something so that you can forgive, forget, turn the page. And of course, when I say forgive, I'm not talking about the religious forgiveness where I forgive you and all of a sudden you're pure and you haven't done anything wrong. No, everybody's accountable for what they do. It's between them and the divine. Forgiving is what is for to give back. Give back to the universe. Give back to the person. I'm going to give you back the collateral damage in my emotions so that I don't have to be in those choppy waters. I don't have to live the consequences of whatever unconsciousness you were going through. That is forgiving. This is going to allow me to get back to a state of peace and serenity. Calmer waters. That means maybe a new self-love, a new self-appreciation, a new receptive, creative waters that will be balanced. Maybe I need, bottom of the deck, I have the Emperor in reverse. So maybe I need to forgive and turn the page on all the people that did not see my worth and my value, that sacrificed me, or that I sacrificed myself, or that I didn't see my worth and my value, that I didn't address how I felt, that I did not have the emotional support, that I did not dare go for what I want or put other people's wills and wants and needs before mine. All dealing with emperors in reverse. And that can be man or woman. It's how we act out there. So, maybe that Gemini new moon is going to be able to start investing in really understanding this duality. All right, let's clarify this for you, Taurus. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Help me clarify this reading for Taurus for the month of May 2025. May 2025. Okay, let's see the Ten of Wands for Taurus. Why is the Ten of Wands there for Taurus? Okay. Ten of Wands with the Nine of Wands, Seven of Sword, Knight of Sword in reverse. So there is that misunderstanding, a false truth that we're holding on to or that we received, Knight of Sword. It's either we believe it within ourselves or somebody is telling us to us in a very harsh way, but it is hurtful because we believe it, even if it's not true. Knight of Sword in reverse. So it makes us put ourselves on guard, expecting the worst, and sabotage in a way, disempowering ourselves, postponing, procrastinating, anything that is like, it's so heavy. Let's say that you're finishing a degree of a sort, or writing a book, or doing a painting, or, finishing a project, or whatever, that there's going to be an evaluation, or it's bringing you to the next stage of your life that you don't know what it is, and there, you believe something about yourself that is making you afraid of it. Of course you're going to sabotage. If you're expecting the worst, of course you're going to try and delay it. You're going to justify yourself in any way possible in order to contour the finishing of something. So that's that kind of pressure, and it could be just the finishing of a cycle where you know that there are things that they're done. I understand it. Now I cannot feed them anymore, or I cannot validate them anymore. That little Ace of Cup is going to help. They stick that in my hand. It's going to help get rid of the lie. And here is Aquarius. Maybe realign you with who you are. Water bearer here, okay? So she doesn't keep any waters. She flows it because she knows it's infinitely provided for. That Ace of Cup is constantly 24 hours a day over your head. Whether it appears in a tarot reading or not doesn't mean it's not. It wasn't there yesterday and now it's here. Now I can see it. It's always there. Now it's just because I want to address it, because you need to be conscious about it. But the capacity to receive new water is constant. That's what the Aquarius knows, the Star card. That's why it's always has no problem pouring away what she went through, the old emotions and so on, because it's like, okay, been there, understand it, I flush it, bring more. So she's constantly aligned with the water is always going to take the shape of what she's vibrating. So in the Star, she's naked because she's not her personal reality. She's not her personality. She's who she is. It's the divine receptive feminine. So, and it's the same girl that represents the higher self in the Leo and so on. So it's that receptive, aligned with the stars. It's the feminine, it's Eve in the Lovers, the one that looks at the angel. So she's in constant receptivity. She knows her vibration. And so the experiences and the waters, the imprints of what she went through, she will not keep because it might deter her from who she really is. So here they're saying that cup's gonna help you remember who you are. It is in a potential right over your head. Right now you can be conscious about it. There's the opportunity, which is going to be hard if you're holding all of this and that you have this attitude with it. Very hard to see the cup, to see what you love. What do I love? What would fulfill me emotionally? Is what I'm carrying mine? What do I want to build? So here you're transitioning this month. Two of Pentacles between two realities, but a bit like, Shiva dancing. Something has to die in order for something to be created. Where you can't live double lives. Well, maybe some, but anyway, this is very exhausting. So let's see, the Two of Pentacles and the Magician. All right, Four of Wands. So somewhere between this month, maybe on your full moon, on the full moon of Scorpio, that's gonna really show you what you need to drop in the waters. It's gonna open up the door. There's the Four of Wands, and that's really a card. I know it's fire, but there's something very Taurus about it, because the fire is grounded. Let's say it's like when first sign Aries arrives in Taurus and can be grounded. And it makes for that. These are the two girls of the Three of Cups. That super receptivity that can absorb Venus and ground it in the worth and value. Celebration of life. There it is. But you got to be conscious of what created the past cycle in order to actually finish the past cycle. Ooh, okay, that was quick. They kept this in me. And there's the Hierophant, the Pope, with the Page of Wands in reverse like we're going to have later. So here your discernment. Hierophant means, he's the keeper of rituals. When it was called the Pope, it's all a question of grounding. Pope comes from pontiff, building bridges. It's the bridge between here and the divine. In this case, in tarot, between him and the high priestess, that is connected to the logos, to the divine, to the cycles and the understanding of what all of this is about. Also to the source of all potential. Okay? So he is building that bridge. And here you have like the two priests, one that looks at him, one that looks down. It can be sometimes associated with the manifested physical, because he's in the physical of Boaz and Joachim, the two pillars behind the high priestess, the two ways, one with wisdom and one with curiosity and all of that, one with discipline and so on, and the other one with the thirst of knowing God. It's all these two ways of how am I going to ground this. It represents you, Taurus. And so here, your discernment, what you're going to banish, what you're going to elect, all of this is going to be decided during that full moon. If you daydream, if you think of things around the 12th of May, and it's time to make decisions. about it. Because you're going to be things that were not fair, or things that you understand now that you can process, things that, maybe Venus wasn't there, and now you're ready to let it go, to bring back justice and balance in your life. Hey, that's unfair. I'm carrying 10 wands. So here we see that there's a need to look at that and willingly turn the page on it. If not, the energy might be a bit chaotic. Knight of Wands in reverse, because we don't understand what she means. So when I was talking about the two pillars of Boaz and Joaquin, there they are. So what she understands, he can ground. But when she's in reverse, we're not looking at her. Justice. But justice is coming. Ooh, all right. Okay. Justice is coming. Let's say that the ones of you that will have understood, acknowledge yourself, finish the cycle. If you have something that was unfair at the end of the month, it becomes fair. You understand it. If not, it might go into next month a bit for others of you, until you have to undo that Knight of Sword, that belief that you have that is wrong, in order to have the clarity, and then I don't have to carry 10 wands. There's the acknowledgement, there's the promotion, there's the success finally. 6 of Wands. It's done. I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to invest more. It is done and it is balanced. So, although it's reversed right now, we live in a free will world. Okay, so being conscious about it, or even doing it on purpose, like crossing the 4 of Wands, finishing the cycle, being the Pope about it, taking your sovereignty in that way, is going to change the outcome or bring it faster. So, I'm going to call this a threshold, because this is what you're going to see at the mid-month. The threshold where on the other side, there's no more resentment, there's no more sabotage, there's no more defeatness. And at one point, it is a decision. What reality about me, about my worth, about who I am, do I keep? So, the threshold. On this, my beautiful Tauruses, happy birthday again. And thank you for watching, sharing, commenting, and all of that. If you want a private reading, or if you want to have the book, it is on the website, mysticwitchtarot.com. And you will have access to all of that, readings and so on. And also thank you for the ones of you who gave donations. It helps more than you think. And on the new moon and the full moon, I ask the divine to give you back in the shape that is the most beneficial for you. So on this, namaste. Have a beautiful month of May. And I'll see you next month.